April is Autism Inclusion Month here at the firm. To learn about the strides JPMorgan Chase has made to create a more neurodiverse workforce, plus to hear firsthand experience from an employee with autism, we're joined by Global Head of Neurodiversity, Bryan Gill, and Corporate and Investment Bank Senior Associate, Kym Francis. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you, Melita. It's really exciting to be here.
Yeah, thank you for including me.
Bryan, let's start off with you. JPMorgan Chase's Autism at Work program began with a handful of employees in 2015. Can you talk about the program's progress and how the firm intends to attract even more neurodivergent talent to the firm?
Yeah, the program started in 2015 with a couple of very inspired colleagues. It started in technology, but it did not take long for the benefits of this program to reach out to other areas of the firm. We now have colleagues in operations, and really there's no limit to the types of opportunities and jobs that we can attract autistic talent to. We are working very diligently on expanding the reach of the program. One of the larger challenges is getting into the community, finding talent and making them aware of the opportunities that we have. Many members of the autistic community may not realize that banking could be a great place to work. So reaching into the community and educating talent from this community on our opportunities and the supports and programming that we have in place is probably the first step. We want access to this underserved, underutilized talent pool.
Kym, your autism diagnosis didn't occur until after you started working here at JPMorgan Chase. Can you tell us what that experience was like and how the firm accommodated you after your diagnosis?
Yeah, sure. So my experience of kind of telling people at JPMorgan that I was going through the autism diagnosis, I think for a lot of people, it's a really big deal as to whether you share with people or not. For me, it was entirely practical. I needed the time off to go to the appointment. I had to tell my manager that I needed the afternoon off to go. And he was just straight up, I'm really glad you told me that, because I was wondering if there was something else going on and I didn't know how to ask. So thank you for telling me, which is a great reaction, right? It's his attitude was from day one, like, I just want to manage you as an individual, and the more I know about you, the better I can manage you. By the time the confirmed diagnosis actually came through, I think it was March, and the next month was April, so Autism Inclusion Month, and there was an event here in the Bournemouth campus. I had an external speaker coming in to raise awareness of autism, and it was my manager that said to me, you should go to this event. You should meet more people with autism. He sends me along to this event, and it was a game changer for me because I met other people with autism. And that's always been probably the most impactful thing, to talk to other people and share experiences and share what was working for other people. Because if you say, hey, I have autism, and somebody goes, well, what reasonable adjustments? Well, I don't know. I only just found out I was diagnosed. So I don't know. So having that community of people that JPMorgan has created by creating this program meant I had people to ask and go to for advice. And we did get the practical accommodations from the program. So we got the noise cancelling headset. There was some training from my manager. We got those in place, which was great. But really the biggest thing for me is that by opening up the subject and calling this a program, JPMorgan has created a community, and I'm very proud to be a member of that community, which is a very different position that I had when I was going through the diagnosis process.
Bryan, Kym just talked about how the Autism at Work program is helping neurodivergent employees, but there's still a lot of work to be done. The autism community faces extremely high unemployment and underemployment. What do you think needs to be done to create a more neurodiverse workforce globally?
Brian Lamb was on CNBC recently, and he talked about the talent shortage, and that we need to think about kind of new approaches, new strategies, and get a little creative. The autism community is an amazing untapped pool of talent. And part of our strategy, and Kym talked to this a little bit, is how do we make this a great place to work to organically attract this talent? And that includes a suite of accommodations that meet the needs of our colleagues to make sure they can thrive and perform and be the very best that they want to be here. So we kind of have a couple problems. One, we need to get into the community and advertise about our opportunities. We need to create conduits with accommodations that the colleagues can work through our processes. The autism community If you meet one person with autism, you met one person with autism. Everybody is different, just like we're all unique, and and everybody has different needs, right? So we need to provide a suite and a range of services that help colleagues not only become aware of our opportunities, but help support the application process, help support the interview process. We need to, when they come to the workplace, provide maybe environmental or sensory accommodations, all stuff that we can do. And conceptually, we view this as a competitive advantage. If we can make this a great place to work and attract talent and retain talent and develop talent from this community, it's a competitive advantage for us. There's no question. This is good for business. And we're not just hiring people because they're from the autism community. We're removing barriers so we can get access to talented contributors from the autism community. Strategically, that's what we're trying to do.
And Kym, from your perspective, what do you think employers can do to create a more inclusive work environment for autistic individuals?
Yeah, I'm going to pick up what Bryan said about this being a great place to work. For me, that's why this employment has worked out. The practical support is not a big deal, and it needs to be not a big deal, because what that's meant for me is that my career development can be a big deal because there is the space for it. And I've been guided and developed by my managers to the best of their ability because they have all the information they need about me. They can go and access training from the team, and they can focus on what I can do and what my strengths are, because they're not running around trying to work out how to get me the right headset or the parking space that I need. That's all sorted and that's all taken care of. So I would say, yeah, it's getting the culture right and making the right things a big deal, and the other things not a big deal.
Global Head of Neurodiversity, Bryan Gill, and Corporate and Investment Bank Senior Associate, Kym Francis, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Melita. It's been great.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much.